Yo,
Hey.
can we take a moment first of all and just cry? You know the way they say mtu si mbaya ni watu wamemzunguka. So now watu wenye walikuwa wamenizunguka ndio waliwabaya. Actually my friends would be called out. My friends would literally be called out in the assembly. The following people you escaped from school, so and so. So I don't want to mention their names here. They know themselves. So and so. So and so, so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so come out. And then people would be shocked how I am missing in that
Hey,
place.
how are you?
Hello, I was in school on the weekend. Hello, I was here. Let me name drop. Chaxi of Mic Check Podcast. Chaxi got a clean A plane, 84 points. I need to give him his flowers for that.
Yeah.
Chaxi got a clean 84 points, A plane. Bro, nilikuwa naangalia msee hivi nasema tu bro. When I grow up, man, I want to be like this guy. I apply casually, then I go back to school, and then one day I'm called. I'm told, hey, Brian, you have been accepted to be at the interview. So we went. It was a long line. 2,590 something of us had applied. I go do my interview. We did 7, including a screen test. Every time I got closer, the more tension I had.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Vibing with Grayy podcast. It's an honor being here with you today. I know it's been a while since I've released something, but here we are today. And I'm also grateful for the feedback that you've been giving the podcast, all the learning that you're getting. So you know our podcast is always about educating, inspiring, and transforming. So for all the conversations and all the awesome people that I've been having and I am about to have right now, I hope you'll be inspired so that you can just shake up your life a little. So on today's episode, I have a very reputable guest, and I am so grateful that he's here today. And I'll let him introduce himself, so that you can know him better. Hi.
Hi, what am I supposed to say?
Just introduce yourself.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Brian Judutieno, commonly known in the media circles as Branji. I am a noisemaker, that's what I call myself. But typically your TV boy. I am currently a news anchor / business reporter at NTV, Nation Media Group, where I do business stories majorly, although I can do other things. And in that, I also do a show called Takeover, which airs every Monday at 7:30 p.m., the biggest tech conversation in Africa. Apart from that, I'm a global moderator, a world-class MC. I have moderated events now in 4 continents, only waiting to host one in Australia. A golfer. I love golf. That's the only sport I've been fortunate to play because I went to school with your brother, and I never played any sport back then. In fact, this finger here got distorted when I was a goalkeeper in a PE match. So we were playing against another class, and then I was the goalkeeper, and the ball was hit my hand, and it's never gone back. If you look at this one,
It's malformed.
it's a bit distorted a little. It was so painful, but that was that. So fortunate to have found golf. I mean, it's a beautiful sport. Apart from that, I just love reading. I enjoy life. I enjoy hanging around people, techies. A very social human being, a Christian, practicing Christian, and that's who I am. That's a lot. Sorry.
No, it's not a lot.
That's a whole lot. Anyway,
Yeah, I do follow Takeover. Actually, I do know the guy from, was it Beba Beggy?
Oh yeah, Charles.
Yeah.
Charles and I went to school too together.
We went to school together.
Yeah.
Because we're in the same young entrepreneurial group.
Yeah.
That's where I knew him from.
Beba Beggy mentors or something of the sort.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It was one of the most. Sorry, I'm TMI already, but it was one of the most beautiful shows I've ever hosted. Charles was raw and cut and very real. And him pouring out his experience as a failed founder came back up again. The lessons he's been able to amass along the way, that was beautiful to see and hear in his own lenses and in his own account. So it was a beautiful thing that, he came out in that way. And I think founders need to listen to that episode a lot more. It's on my channel.
Yeah, I know. I do follow your channel.
Thank you.
So,
Why?
before, yeah,
Okay, proceed.
yeah. What are you about to say?
I was asking, what don't you know about me then? You're asking me here to introduce myself.
Because I want the audience to know you, yeah,
Hi.
freshly.
All right, so cool. I hope that surfaces.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we dig deep into the conversation, I have these three questions that I mentioned before we started. So the first one is, what are the three things people don't know about you?
What are the three things people don't know about me?
Yeah.
That I can cook.
Huh.
And I can cook pretty well, just that I don't get the time to do it. What other thing? That I'm a board member in an institution I don't talk about a lot.
Why?
Because it deals with a lot of sensitive stuff. So
Oh, okay.
I don't like putting it out there. But yes, I've been a board member beginning this year, 2024. What other thing, Brian? What other thing? A third thing. Oh, that I don't like pets.
Why?
I just don't like cats and dogs
Even cats?
running. No.
Okay, personally, cats. I have for cats.
I had a
But-
cat growing up. It was chaotic. It was messy. So I guess it's part of the trauma. And then again, this economy, who wants to keep? And you know the way middle class folks, we normally normally go buy a small cat somewhere or a dog, and then now we're working with this a white Chihuahua, and it's looking like giving it very funny names, or Lulu, or I don't know, Nova, or something. I don't know. One of these very funny bougie. Am I allowed to curse on a podcast? No. Sorry.
Okay, so you said you can cook
I
pretty
can
well.
cook, yeah.
Can you cook everything, like the basic meals? Can you cook it pretty well?
Pretty well.
What have you ever cooked that you can say that it turned out perfect for you?
Chicken casserole? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. What are the three things people assume about you?
That I'm a snob, one. People think I look down on others. No, I really am not that way. I am one very open person. People who know me know. I just tend to be a little bit more direct in the way I ask things or in the way I come out, but I don't mean bad for anyone. Which brings it to number two. I can never hate. I literally don't have the nerve around me to hate. The world is already going through a lot of issues, a lot of problems that it's too much work to again find space in your heart, time, life, and resources to stake an amount to hate somebody or hate on something. I may dislike something and be a little bit vocal about it, but it doesn't mean ultimately that I don't hate it, that I hate it rather. So people assume I'm a snob or mimi ni mtu wa madharau ama maringo na vitu kama hizo. No, it's just who I am. If you get to know me, you would really.
Why do you think people assume that?
Because they confuse being assertive and being proud. Yeah? People confuse being assertive and being proud. When you ask for what rightfully belongs to you or what you should rightfully be receiving, then it will be naturally assumed like, hey, Kona Maringo, you're too direct, you're too this, that. And sometimes it's not even about the person who is offering that. It's just that you do not agree, and there is nothing wrong with that. Or you're simply asking for what rightfully belongs to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then number two, I don't hate. Guys think that if I speak about something, it means, you see the way people tend to look at life as binary. If I say, for example, I use iPhone. If I say I have a preference for iPhone, it means I hate Android. No, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
It's just that I have a preference and I have no problem with anyone else who's doing the other thing. Yeah. And then lastly, the other thing that people assume about me is that I'm a rich kid. That I was born bougie and all these things.
Aren't you?
No.
You're not?
Bro. No, I'm not. I struggled quite a bit in my life. Yeah.
And for you being a snob, has that made you fall short of friends at some point?
Yes and no. For people who misunderstand me, it's totally fine. I understand it. The thing is, I will always afford time to talk to someone, to call, to reply to their texts, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It's not because if I don't reply immediately, doesn't mean or it doesn't imply that I am ignoring you. Life gets busy. We are adults. We are grown-ups. We are trying to survive this Ruto's economy, this Ruto's land. And quite frankly, nobody sleeps or nobody sleeps, nobody wakes up thinking about you.
Yeah.
Unless you're their child. Literally. And that's the real truth. It applies the same to me. I can have a very tight circle of people and friends who I know they got my back and everything else. But they also know the kind of people who I go to sleep and think about, and then wake up again in the morning and think about. I may see something that may remind me about them, and I'll be like, "Hey, boss, I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay where you are." And just drop a text, just checking in. But ile ya ati thinking about you ati every day, unless we are dating.
Which
also never happens.
Yeah, your significant other has a life.
Exactly, yeah, they have a life. So I think people really over-expect sometimes, and it's just not that way. But my DMs are open. I talk to people. I don't have a PA. I run all my social media from here, although I should get a PA. My life is chaotic lately. Yeah, my DMs are open. I'm the one who answers all those things. I'm the one who takes the hate. I'm the one who, if you go to my Instagram, I'm the same person. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question, whom do you believe yourself to be?
Whom do I believe myself to be?
Yeah.
I am a go-getter, a very intentional person. I am extremely perseverant in what I put my mind on. Basically, if I say I'm going to do something, it will happen.
It will.
The methods may change, but it will definitely happen. I will have to achieve it and say, yes, I did it now. We are looking at another thing. Yeah. So, very, 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 very determined, persisting person. And the inverse is true. If I don't want, you'll see every element of me not even being nonchalant about it and all that. I'll just leave you to it. Yeah, so, and I think people should live like that.
Yeah.
We are at a time in our lives where you've got to decide whether or not you're in or out. And it gets really interesting to see sometimes people doing things in a haphazard way, thinking that there could be a chance of winning it. In my world, the life I've lived, I've learned that, hey, you either do it or you don't.
There's no in between.
No. You can't be sitting on the fence and then expecting, oh, it's going to work in your favor. You either go all out or you don't. Yeah.
So thank you for answering the first three questions. And I believe that we're getting more comfortable. Personally, I am. All the anxiety has
No, I don't bite.
down.
Don't worry.
Yeah, so we're going to dive into the conversation. So what was it like growing up?
Growing up?
Yeah.
It was a mixture of bittersweet because I grew up with a single mom for 17 years of my life, and then was adopted way later now. I think at 17, when she passed on. This is a story I've not told anywhere.
Oh, yeah, you're privileged.
Yeah, this is a story I've never told anywhere. So, but yes, it was extremely hard at some point because there was a divorce. Born in Mombasa, grew up partly here, and then in Nyanza, where I come from, so Kisumu and Bondo. So yeah, it was not easy growing up within those conditions.
Yeah.
I have one more other sibling, my younger sister. My younger sister Joy, whom I love to bits. But yes, that was it growing up. It was fun. I was a bright kid. Always number one or number two or somewhere thereabout. I remember in my indexing, you remember those things, indexing and all that. So there was an indexing exam which we did, and then I was index 6, and I remember crying. Yeah, mom made sure I was in good schools. I was in very, very good schools. Although at some point she felt like I was missing out on being a man, so she sent me to boarding school. I started boarding school at class 5.
Oh.
Yeah, in Kericho Boys Boarding Primary School. So yeah, it's not like we were rich. No, we weren't. We were just making do. She was employed and she had it together.
Yeah.
And by the way, me saying this is part of my healing process or therapy and all that kind of stuff. But I don't like sympathy. Don't sympathize with me.
No, I'll empathize with you.
No, don't do that either.
Empathy.
Empathy. What's the difference? Empathy is more action-oriented. Sympathy. Oh yeah, cool. That's better. But still, I'm a grown-ass man right now. I'm 26. So please don't. Usinione huruma.
Okay, can't.
Humble background ilisha nikifika 25 kuendelea nyuma.
I'm a clinician. I can't sympathize with patients.
Yeah.
Like every time,
Yeah.
Like I just, yeah.
So I kind of got the fine things of life. Also kind of missed out a bit. There was a bit of struggles at some point.
Yeah.
Then lost my mom in 2015 and my younger sister. So we remained the two of us.
Oh.
Yeah. Then we got adopted and we are now, okay. We're now pretty much okay.
I can see that.
Yeah, so those people who think, oh, bougie kid, no.
Okay, so did all those conditions make you the person you are today?
Yes, I strongly believe so. I sort of feel like I'm in some sort of a payback mission, if you ask me. Not in a bad way, really. I just want to sort of make better choices in my life.
Yeah.
Do things better in a way, live with people better, because that is not something we saw growing up. Back in the day, not as now, single parents, especially women, were sort of looked down upon, and that was a constant struggle growing up. So, but these are things I've never said anywhere. It's partly why I have 2 English names, Brian George. So people ask me, oh, Wajaluo, mnapenda majina mbili za English, sijui nini na nini. I'm like, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, I didn't grow up with a dad. So what should have been my surname is what was given to me by my uncle, George. So Brian was my name, and then George, then Otieno, because I was born at night. In the Luo culture, that is how it looks like. Do I wish I had a surname in Luo? Yes, I wish, but no, life is what it is. And then now going into media, the name that is known is this Brian George. Even my email is B George, and then the other domains. So it's just been interesting. It's been an interesting life. Did I answer your question?
Yeah,
okay.
You did.
Yes.
So how was it like growing in Kanga High School?
Yo!
Hey.
Can we take a moment first of all and just cry?
Remember
that meme for wacha nilie kwanza. Wait. So you're asking me this because your bro and I went to the same school.
That traumatized my brother to the point that I could not go to a school in Nyanza. He was like vouching for me not to go to any school near Nyanza. So I just studied in Nairobi.
I think because I was also called to Patch. My mom said no.
Why?
My mom said no. I can't go to Patch. I was called to Patch. I was called to Iten. I was called to another weird school I can't remember. But I remember St. Patrick's Iten in Marakwet, and I was also called to Patch. My mom at the time was like, no, you can't go to Patch. You will not go to Patch. So I'm like, okay, sour. But I was mad. So yes, I went to Kanga School. I did Kanga School between 2011 and 2014, where I met your bro. We were sort of considered the kind of the cool kids of...
Why?
That's just a way we were different, yeah. So yeah, it's just the way we were different. We were not thinking the same. And then, you know, at the time, it had just transitioned into a national school.
Oh.
Remember the time when the bubble of making a lot of provincial schools,
Yeah.
national schools and all that kind of stuff. And Kanga was performing really well. In Nyanza, there was Maranda, there was Agorosare, there was Kanga, and then this school called Rapogi.
Right.
No, there was always beef with them.
Oh.
Yeah, some bittersweet. And imagine that beef is even there to date.
To date.
Yeah, even in outside world. Yeah.
Oh.
And then then there was Maseno.
Oh, yes.
And then there were other schools that were really coming up. They were really, really strong. They were coming up at the time. So Kanga was borderline torture, if not torture already, because there are different experiences. I never got to be suspended from school, but I was a cheeky boy. I was extremely cheeky. Hey, look, all my friends could be actually in a mess, in like a proper mess, wamehepa shule. Yeah, for the English audience listening, that means basically skiving school or being or just crossing the fence and going to do some weird and ungodly things. Which today I look back and I'm like, was it really worth it?
Yeah, was
Yeah,
it?
but that stage was important so that we ask such questions. Like, we had fun back in high school. I was in the journalism club. I was in journalism club. I was in English club. I was in Junior Achievers.
Wow.
Yeah, the cool clubs of the school, you know, where you get to go to funkies, you meet babes, and that kind of stuff. I mean, and that was life. It was beautiful. I was performing well, but not your typical A student, if you ask me. I was performing well. Of course, I got a B plus, 72 points. Missed out A minus with just 1 point. That really hurt me. Yeah, but it's okay. So yeah, that was me. Did I answer it?
Was there any? No, you're not giving me the juice of how Kanga High School was, because according to my brother, that place was torture. Okay, it was fun and torture, and all the cheeky things that you used to do. Okay, kawaida ya vijana.
Of course. I mean, there was almost like should I call it a ritual of something crazy every class of every year has to do. So there was a time we had that there's a group of boys in their final year who went and drove the school bus in the field. I know, that's crazy. And you know, we're hearing these stories and in Form 1 and we're like,
What?
You people have... Oh, I'm not allowed to cuss on your phone, on your podcast, sorry. That aside, another year, and you know, now they are coming close to us because we are class of 2014. Another year, wait, that's actually 10 years ago. Another year, they went milking the cows of the school. Another year, this is now 2013. 2013, these boys made alcohol they went and stole chemicals from the school lab and made alcohol in the dormitory. And how people got wind of it is because the alcohol started smelling.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was there's a range of chemical distillations that it has to go through. I won't get into that. It's a lot of organic chem and stuff. And then it started smelling, and guys were like, wait. Yeah, and then in our year, in our year, there was a teacher who used to live around the school. His name is Majori. Majori Olud. No, not Majori Olud. Majori Olud is an author. So Majori, he was the comp teacher basically. He used to like run an empire in the school. Majori would be the The guy, if you're sent pocket money, he receives it. You go to make phone calls home, he's the one who has the phones. He had like 20 phones.
No.
So how long have you taken? 10 minutes, you pay him 10 bob. How long have you taken? Like that, like that. If your money comes, he deducts, gives you and a withdraw. You know, if you people saw you around Majori's place, it meant you are going to be richer somehow. Yeah, so because you're going to call your sisters, your uncles, whatever. And then you'll be... So Majori used to live around the school because of that proximity to student needs and all that. Then he used to be the comp teacher, the only comp teacher. Hey, he had quite the street cred back then.
Yeah.
And then what Majori would do is, I think either the wife or somebody, the wife passed on, may God rest her soul. They used to have a lot of jikos around the school there. Yeah, they used to cook for kids and chapels and all that kind of stuff. Majori was like a real empire. Yeah. And what Majori did is, what the students did rather is, they went and stole Majori's chicken.
I know that story.
And his jiko. Tony told you that.
He told I know that story. So,
and then we slaughtered that chicken.
was that your dome?
No. Tony is the one who used to sleep on Oyugi dome. Oyugi. So basically, Oyugi was named after the former interior PS, the late former interior PS. His name is Oyugi Ogango. PS Oyugi was very powerful during the 90s. So yeah. And by the way, Oyugi is where the scandals used to come from. Yeah. There was Kalonzo A, there was Kalonzo B, Kalonzo C. That was a whole 2 floors up. I think they improved it. I think they added a couple of more floors right now. And the reason it was named after Kalonzo was because Kalonzo at the time was Assistant Minister for Education. So when he went, the Minister for Education. So when he went there, he laid the foundation. So there was a Tembo, and Kalonzo was the newest. So that was where I was sleeping. You know, I just had good things in my life. Had the best things in my life all through. And then there was a Tembo. A Tembo was like a hallway like this, and then the beds were the partitions. And then there was a Yugi A, Yugi B. Then there was Alpha A, Alpha B. Alpha Dome was where the Form 4s used to sleep.
Oh.
That was where all the first bodies, like the rude ones, wale wenye hawaguzi, the guys who have phones in school, they used to sleep in Alpha. But now Oyugi was for the wannabes. You get?
Yeah.
So hey.
So back to the guy stealing a jiko and slaughtering a chicken.
A chicken and cooking it. And then, it's a very cheeky thing to do because we're in Form 4, we need to be concentrating in our classes and all these things. But yes, that was Kanga for you. For some, Kanga was torture. For some, Kanga was a rescue because the truth is we went to school with people who were quite less fortunate in the society.
Oh, okay.
And so all they needed was that education to have a hope. I think I was among those people. So I may have been cheeky, but I was really very strategic because I never got suspended in school. It would devastate my mom. And I didn't want that for her.
Yeah.
But I was organizing the people who were chini ya rada. Yeah. You know the way they say, mtu si mbaya ni watu wamemzunguka. So now, watu wenye walikuwa wamenizunguka ndio waliwabaya. Actually, my friends would be called out. My friends would literally be called out in the assembly. The following people, you escaped from school, so and so. So I don't want to mention their names here. They know themselves. So and so. So and so come out. And then people would be shocked how I am missing in that place.
How are you?
Hello, I was in school on the weekend. Hello, I was here. Hizo ma contests zikikuja. Contests are basically those two random exams with other universities. Sorry, not other universities. Other high schools.
Yeah, I used to go to that.
Contests and internal mocks and all that kind of stuff. I would pass. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't daft. You hear me?
Yeah, you're not.
No, I wasn't. But I wasn't like your typical A student who is going all out and, no, I wasn't that. I was just intelligent and knowledgeable enough to pass my exams. And I think that was good enough for me because, it is what it is in this country and in the real world today. But that aside, what was I driving towards? I would pass those things. Those are the things that would bring people problems in Nini. So for some reason, my friends never used to pay attention to some of those things. Naitawaletea shida.
Yeah.
Get. And I remember one of them, he's so successful right now, extremely successful. We would do a contest like today.
Yeah.
In fact, how he would do it is, if he knew a contest is coming in the weekend, let's say chem contest, for example.
Yeah.
And chemistry was compulsory for everyone. You wouldn't, I choose chem, no, watch the way you choose physics and drop it at some point. So chem was compulsory. We did it up until Form 4. And this guy, I almost mentioned his name. This guy, and he's so successful right now. He would take a leave out cheat, say on a sick out cheat, let's say on Thursday. Sawa? Because Sato anajua vizuri hii contest inakuja. So he would go either Friday or Saturday after the contest because he knows Monday ni mawano for assembly. The results would come out. If you got anything below 40%, come to the front.
Whipped kwa assembly, sindio?
Yes.
Why?
I keep asking myself that too to date. I doubt it was helpful. I honestly doubt it was. Because again, the thing with our age and at that time, if you beat up somebody, they sort of grow that thick skin of, after all, the punishment is only 10 strokes of the cane and then I'll be let go. So, sawa. I'll get my 39 or my 38, enda pigwa, alafu nini. Kuna ingine niliwahi pigwa moja, nikasema sitaipigwa tena. And our principal was very sarcastic. Very, very, very sarcastic man. He would be like, and then this one, reading out the names. Brian, George, that's a lot of English names for nothing.
Wow.
Kanga students will relate. They would know. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get the stories and I'm like, what is this place? Because I remember when he came back from Form 1, he was like adamant in going back because of all the bullying. But hey, I don't know what made him just go back and just persevere. But that's cool.
What you've just reminded me some of those things. One of the people who used to steal from me. And I knew. You
knew?
Yeah.
What did you do about it?
Nothing.
Why?
What would you have done about it?
Coming from 4.
It was one of those wannabes. Aki, this group of boys. This group of boys. And then, prefects were allowed to cane people.
Yeah, I was told about that.
Aye.
Were you ever pretend to be a prefect?
Yes.
Do you know the person right now, or do you interact?
One of them beat me because me, I don't know how to harbor hate, but I just remember. No, to be very honest, yes, I honestly don't know how to harbor hate in my heart. I remember, and I'm not saying that I have it all together, nini. With my life, I am making do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a permanent job. I have a couple of businesses running, brand gigs, deals here and there. I get to travel across the world.
Yeah.
Also often and whatnot. So some of them think I'm very successful, so they come asking for help.
And you help them?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you have a big heart.
And they remind me of some of those things. I'm like, bro, ulikuna niibia shuge high school. I'm like, unafikiria nimesahau? I don't ask them, but I just know, manze ulikuwa unaniibianga shuge.
So just tell them.
No, it won't help. It won't help now.
Yeah, it won't help.
It won't help now. Plus, I understood some of them. Because, Kanga was the school that gave everyone an opportunity to form their life. So it was a prestigious school. If you ask to date, Kanga is a serious, serious school. If you want to know, there's a science community called Young Scientist Kenya that basically takes students who are in science, tech, STEM courses, engineering, mathematics, etc. And they start that way back from high school. So they come to a high school and then they form like a sort of a science club, mentor the students, come up with projects of science congress. I was in science congress myself.
Likewise.
Yeah. That, which is partly why I've continued the tech journalism right now. But some of the finest students who come out of YSK, Young Scientist Kenya, are actually from Kanga.
Oh.
That is how serious Kanga is. Yeah. So let me name drop Chaksi of Mic Check podcast. Chaksi got a clean A plane, 84 points. I need to give him his flowers for that.
Yeah.
Chaksi got a clean 84 points, A plane. Bro, nilikuwa naangalia mse hivi nasema tu bro. When I grow up, man, I want to be like this guy. He was in class of 2012.
Oh.
I was in 2014. Chaksi was like, yo, he went and did telecommunications. Hakumaliza though.
Yeah.
Hakumaliza. So it is what it is, man. I think he found his passion in other things. He's living his life, and that's good enough. Yeah, but that is how serious Kanga was. Everyone literally got an opportunity to model their life to whom they want to be. There were rich kids. I wasn't one of them, and I don't want to lie to people. I've never been a rich kid.
But people assumed you to be.
People assumed that just because of school. You know, I went to a primary school that was not necessarily in Nyanza. I was some sort of different, and I recognized it, and I did, and so I tried blending a lot. I spoke a lot of Luo, also.
Are you fluent in Luo?
Yes, I'm very fluent. I watch the Luo Mabandi.
Oh.
Yes.
I personally don't know.
You don't know Luo? No, it's okay, not a problem. But try and learn. So people look at me like, hey, you have two English names, but you speak Luo so well. I'm like, yeah, it's just a name. I mean, you people don't have a problem with Peter Kenneth. Why do you have a problem with me?
With you, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned being in the journalism club. And also my brother mentioned that you used to go and read news in front of the class. Or was it kwa parade?
Yes, kwa parade.
That's where that passion, yeah?
I'll tell you the story of in front of the class, but yes, ask a question.
Yeah, so did that shape your career till date? Because, yeah, you're a journalist. So was that moment the spark that you needed to know that you really needed to pursue journalism? Or it's something that you knew way before, even before joining high school?
So I was always kidding about it back at home. I remember as early as when I was 12, about 12, I used to tell my mom, by the way, Mom, one day you're going to see me on the screens. She never got to do, and that really hurts me to date. But it's okay. Every other person sees me and they appreciate it. I told her, Mom, I want to be a journalist one day, and I'm gonna be a really big one. And she was like, I don't want you to do journalism. No. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be an accountant. My father was an accountant. I want you to be an accountant, or I want you to do something else, be a lawyer or whatever. And the least I want of you is that. This thing of you being in front of screens and nini, I don't want it. And so she never approved of it. I guess maybe she still doesn't like it wherever she is. But at the time, I grew up, like I said, we were not badly off. We had a TV back at home, and the time when DVDs came out. So I used to watch Lillian Muli when she was just starting off at KTN. I watched Badi Mohsin in KBC. I watched, I think I watched a bit of Leonard Mambo Botella for the better part of me growing up. He was always on TV and on radio with Jehu Nyungwana. And, you get interested. At the time, there was no online. So the match you would get to access is go to a cyber cafe maybe and just look at some of these people, what they're doing.
Yeah.
I got introduced to YouTube a little bit earlier than it got to blow up. So I knew this is something I love doing, but hey, Mama mekata. So she never knew I was even in the journalism club.
She never knew?
Never knew. I used to save my pocket money to sustain my termly subscriptions, being in Jonah, because the club has to be sustained. And so there's a bit of sacrifice that we needed to do. So part of that was I'm jumping, sorry. So I get to Form 1, and after the orientation, there's a night when now all these people, the officials in the clubs, they come and they want to recruit. And this gentleman called Gilbert Mulaha Kangie, he's now a pastor.
Okay, that's
He has
nice.
a church somewhere in, I think, Ruaraka or somewhere, I don't know. Shout out to Gilbert Manze. Those are the people who really formed me into sort of the journalist I am today. Gilbert, Charles Oduk, Prince Charles of Bibabegi, Tony, there's another Tony who also used to go to Science Congress a lot. And other Kina Roy, there's another gentleman called Giovanni. There were a lot of them. I know they don't even know I remember them, but I know them. Yeah, Roy Ridge. So yeah, they come to class and they tell us the benefits of being in journalism club. Oh yeah, and there's also Ronnie, DJ Ronnie Excel. He's now a DJ. Ronnie, there was Ronnie. Just some good gentlemen over there. And yeah, they come, they introduce the journalism club, and I'm like, I think I like this. This gives me the chance. And then they ask, who wants to be in the journalism club? My hand was up. So yeah, I that's how I got signed up. And then at the time they used to call it a field marshal. So you're not necessarily what in professional terms is called a reporter. So I'd go to virtually all funkies.
Okay, journalist based or all of them? Just all of them?
All of them.
Ah, okay.
All funkies, even the ones I didn't have an interest in, like sports. All of them. Go collect news, come back. Yeah, so the first day now I went with Gilbert to read the news in assembly. I've never forgotten that day. Oh my God.
Which year were you in?
I don't know whether Gilbert Mulaha remembers that thing. Gilbert Mulaha Kangie. I doubt he remembers. But if he watches this, he would remember. So we have our news written. Majori would allow us to, you remember Majori? He would allow us to go to the computer lab, have a printout, then read, put context, research and all that, and then come now and read, present that to the assembly. I trembled.
And
I trembled.
was this still in year 1?
This is in Form 1, first term. Yeah, but now in month 2, month 3, thereabout, if I'm not wrong. So I've gone to a funky, then we've come back. Then Gilbert was the lead anchor, and then I was the supporting news anchor. So I introduced myself. I was trembling. Literally, the paper in my hand was shaking. Yeah. And then I got backlash after that. Backlash. There was one teacher called Salome. Salome was our teacher of English. She came to teach, and then she told she was moving around the class. I used to sit somewhere in the middle or to the front too. I'm like, you're Brian, you're the one who read the English, yes. Keep going. That's all she said.
Okay.
Yeah. So I patched onto her a bit. She used to help me with grammar and all that kind of stuff. I used to pass her. It was known. If English results will come back, Brian would be the best.
Yeah.
It was known, poetry, I don't know what, all those things. For some reason, I don't know why people struggled with English, by the way. But I understand, because, again, Kanga was a conglomeration of people who went to, how do I put this in a proper way?
Regional schools.
Regional schools, primary schools that were just around the village and all that kind of stuff. So they didn't get to have a good teacher of English and the like. For me, I went to a school that even had a library in primary school. So we used to read a lot. We used to go for contests for composition writing and all that. So it was formed in me a little too early. I grew up with movies. I watched all of them, from Perfume, The Story of a Murderer, to all of those movies.
Yeah.
That now I got people are watching in high school, and I'm like, this I watched about 2 years ago.
or during movie nights.
Yeah, during movie nights. But you just rewatch it for the sake of just savoring the moment. So yeah, that's how I got started. I kept going, and then I became a household name. I was voted in as entertainment captain at some point.
Entertainment.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
At some point, and that was historic because our class was not known for that. It was like our class would produce either so the stream would go like that up until Form 4. So our class was never known to have an entertainment captain per se. Yeah. And at the time, let me just say this. At the time, this Vibes Cartel that had been released was the hit.
Yeah.
The Redeem that was released between 2009 and 2013-ish thereabout, that was fire. I promise you, that music is played to date in ghetto radio, in all those places.
Yeah.
So that was the jam then. At the time also, DJ Lighter had just come out. DJ Lighter was, the big DJ at the time. And DJ Kalonje had launched around 2008, if I'm not wrong. I remember because I was in class 6 and one of my friends called me to their house and played me DJ Kalonje. So the next time I was going to school, I saved the pocket money, then I bought DJ Kalonje's mixes. Then Lighter came out.
Yeah.
So people had never heard of this Nani. And then it's 2013, I've been voted in as entertainment captain. Bro, I come back from home and I have this fire playlist. I'm telling you, literally fire. Also around the time is when Grandpa Records is out.
Yeah.
Grandpa Records have released Fimbo Ina Chapa.
Oh, yeah,
You remember the song? Bro. Yeah, so that was it. And that's how people got to appreciate my work. Over time, it escalated. I didn't pursue journalism. Another story, another different story. But I used to go out to create content. And then that's how I'm now here.
So what did you pursue in campus?
Tourism management.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you end up in the journalism field?
How I ended up in journalism. So I didn't apply for tourism management. I wanted to do media, so I applied. I wanted to go to DEO. I wanted to go to Daystar so bad because everyone I was looking up to was at Daystar. From my current mentor, Larry Mado, mentor and also referee on my CV. Larry Mado was in a Daystar, Mwakazi, Daystar, Eric Omondi, Daystar, Jackie Maribe, I think also, Daystar, Raburu was in Mo University, and so many other big names. So, I was following. And then Larry had this thing where he used to put one hand in the pocket and read out a piece of paper. And I'm like, God damn, this guy is the thing. You're looking at somebody and you're like, wow, one day I would like to be here. But then I tell you the truth, sometimes the news buzz right now goes on before I go on air on NTV, and I don't believe it. Because I was watching Larry in 2012, 2013 thereabout, when he was at NTV. The same spot I am at right now. And I still can't believe some of it. To be very honest, I can't. So I go to school, I do tourism management. I didn't apply for it, I didn't like it, I didn't want it. I got to like it along the way. So between 2015 and 2019, I just started creating content, places to go visit. You travel here, go see there, go do this, to go do that. And then that content is what helped me to get into Standard Media Academy. When they announced I was a receptionist at a hotel I was interning in.
Oh, yeah.
This hotel was in Kakamega.
Oh, umetembea.
I'm typically Kenyan, literally Kenyan.
Hey.
So I was a receptionist at that hotel. It was just at the end of a very busy Christmas season. So around Jan, Feb, April. Things have cooled down, so now guys are preparing to go back to school. And then because I had done everything, I was a waiter, I've done sous chef, I've done room service. I even know how to clean a pool.
Wow.
Because it was training. See, it's tourism management, so it was training. Yeah, I've done all those things. So yeah, imagine I did all that, and then now when it was not time for me to be at the reception, and then on my laptop, I was signed up to Fuzu. Then Standard Media Academy is looking for young journalists to go and train and in. All this time I'm in School of Journalism, School of Tourism rather. I'm learning journalism stuff. I went online, School of YouTube. I learned how to animate, to edit, presenting, all those things. Because it was always burning in me. I always wanted to be there. Always wanted. That's why I told you, if I put my head on something, it will happen. Whether or not the methods are direct or otherwise, the goal in Joila, yes, fine, we will go round and still get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I apply casually, then I go back to school, and then one day I'm called. I'm told, hey, Brian, you have been accepted to be at the interview. So we went. It was a long line, 2,590 something of us had applied. Mombasa Rodapo post standard. So many of us had applied. At this time, I'm in Moi University, Eldoret. So I'm asking for permission. 2019, I'm asking for permission from my lecturers to go to SG. So I had board North Rift at night. And sorry, naingia home na freshen up, then naingia pale SG, Standard Media Group. I go do my interview. We did 7, including a screen test. Every time I got closer, the more tension I had. Every time I got closer, like you'd be called and be told, you've made it to the next step.
Yeah.
You've made it to the next step. You've made it to the next. The tension grows. On July 25th, 2019, I was called. I think I was doing my. So I think we're remaining with about 2 more courses to go, 2 more units to go in the course. Yeah. And I was called by Christabel. I'll never forget. 25th July 2019, I was called. Hi, Brian, how are you? I'm fine, in Anini. And then I was told, congratulations, you made it to the Standard Media Academy.
Wow.
My life changed like that. And now I had to figure out how I'm going to now move from Eldoret.
But you did finish the course.
I finished. Oh. I'll tell you about it. Don't worry. She asked me on the call. I remember she asked me on the call. She's like, she called, I think it was a Tuesday, if I'm not wrong. She called me on either Monday or a Tuesday. I was like, hey, Brian, so we'd like you to come on Thursday to come sign your contract. I told her, hey, but I'm in Eldoret. Also, you're not going to sign the contract. No. I'll come. I'll come. So yeah, so I came. I was thin. Borderline despondent, because I remember I was also telling God at that time that I honestly know that this is what I'm studying is what I love, and what I love is this, and you, God, you too know, if I don't get this opportunity, that's it for me. I'm not, I won't go get employed or something on this. I'll just perhaps start a business or what. You know that kuna ka stress flani upiga final year students wakienda kumaliza shule. I was thin, broke and hungry. I've even told that story on my Instagram. You can go check it. It's the last post I made, I think about a week ago, when Standard was going through problems, and my heart goes out to all those people at Standard. I really feel for you guys. I just don't know what to do apart from this. Because Standard made me who people know today. Yeah. So I went, signed my contract on August 5th, 2019. Yes. I started my media career. So you asked, did I finish the other course? Yes, I did. Yeah, so I applied for credit transfer from the Eldoret campus, was brought to Nairobi at Bazaar Plaza. So here's how the academy used to run. 8 to 5, you're in class, you're studying media, immersing in media. Then now, this one here was a Gumbaru school. The Moi University at Bazaar Plaza was a Gumbaru school. Gumbaru, basically, for the people who don't understand, is adult learning. So this school here is not the one I used to go to in the evening. So I was learning 2 courses at the same time. Yeah, so nikafanya, nikamaliza. Alhamdulillah, I graduated on 19th December 2019. I was 22 at the time. Yeah, and I had a job. Clara, I was happy. Wow. I moved out of home. I went started life in a bed sitter. And I'm a big boy. I have float, man. So you know.
Because it's something that you really wanted. You
Yeah,
know?
and I'm feeling nice. And don't let me not lie to you. It was really good. You're working with big names. I was in the first 2 weeks of my newsroom experience. You're
Yeah.
placed in the newsroom. You turn, you see Mary Kilobi. You turn, you see Alimanzu. You turn, you see Frida Mwaka. You turn this other side, you see big names. I'm talking about like guys who've been there. Hassan Juma.
Yeah.
You're seeing them there, and I'm like, goodness, what is this? Until one day, Alimanzu broke the ice. He's the one person who made me now start talking to the other, because I was starstruck. I'm still a student in campus. I'm still just trying to figure out my way around this adulting world, employment world. I just moved out of home, so I'm living by myself. I was happy. Then Manzu came and asked me, "Hey, dogo unachaja jamani?"
And then what?
Alimanzu. Yeah, alikuwa anaomba charger ya simu. So yeah, I gave him, and then that's how we started talking. And yeah, kanipea lift hapo kidogo nini. That's how I started. I did standard for 3 years. In 2022, Nation started calling. They gave me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
Then I moved.
Wow.
Just the other day, we're in August, right?
Yeah.
I did 2 years at Nation. Yeah. That's
Wow.
it. I see people out here
Yeah.
saying I look 35, I look 37, I look 40. I'm like, I understand.
You're a Gen Z.
Yes.
Oh.
And it's something people don't actually agree with. I tell them, okay, fine, look, Google is free and it's your friend. You go Google. I'm about 97. Go Google when Gen Z starts.
Wow.
But that's not why we're here. Thank you. Yeah. It really doesn't matter. We are all humans.
Yeah,
at the end
it
of the
doesn't.
day.
Yeah,
It really doesn't matter. Yeah.
So you mentioned about the tension. So how do you deal with the doubt when you're trying to navigate whatever you want? And even the imposter syndrome, insecurities at some point. I don't know if that was it for you, but I truly know that there are some things that come and hinder us while we're navigating success. It's not usually a through pass that, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. Then
It's not normally a straight line.
Yeah, it's not. So how did you manage that?
It's really hard knowing who wants the best for you, even as I want to make this point in the newsroom, but depend a lot on mentors and people who care about you and people who are looking out for your good. Find somebody who you can identify with, a career person, a career mom or dad. Okay, that's like an upline sort of.
Yeah, I get you.
Who can guide you. The corporate world is very interesting. You can have a best friend who's literally 50 years old. And you're 20. And you have someone who's 48 and he or she is your mentor, sort of, or your best friend in this case. They are never absolutes, really. Just try and find the best way of navigating that. Do your work correctly, rightly, conscientiously, and with a lot of excellence, as unto God. I think that has been my solace. I'm grateful that in my 5 years of career, I've not been sued for libel or defamation, because I really take seriously what I do. Not that the people who don't take their work seriously. There are some mistakes you can't avoid, and you just find yourself there. Yeah, so do your work well and keep upskilling. I am currently pursuing my master's in digital journalism, so that's when I'm doing it. So that's it.
Wow, because I truly know that there are just a lot of things that come up. Even at the moment when I'm in school, you're trying to juggle school and the media. Okay, your case is quite similar to mine, because when I'm in hospital, I truly know that I don't want to be there. I just don't want to be there.
And you're honest with yourself about it.
Yes, I just don't want to be there. It's a feeling. Actually got that feeling in my first year. Okay, when we started clinicals.
Okay.
I was like, I can't spend the rest of my life here. I'll
lose it.
Yeah, I'll lose it.
Yeah.
So here's me trying to manage media, podcasting, trying out podcasting,
Yeah.
talking about what I really like talking about, mental
Yeah.
health and helping people.
Yeah.
You see, in a way, I'm still helping people mentally, but I just feel like I'll have to divert at some point because I truly know that there are people in school who will do a better job of being a doctor. So, yeah,
Yeah.
cheers to them.
And by the way, I hear you, I feel you when you say that at the onset of COVID is when people knew that they really needed medical content.
Yeah.
So many people did not know or appreciate the importance of having medical content and right content at that, because there are so many quacks out here.
Yeah, there's so many.
So I mean, it's you haven't lost it. You really haven't.
Yeah.
So think about it strongly, and if you something you want to pursue, personally, I say, I'd rather leave having done what I wanted to do than regretting never have done it, because I sort of feared, or I sort of fear is not in my vocabulary at all.
It's not. Wow.
I'm going to do it. If we're leaving something, we're leaving it.
So you have never had the thought of, oh my God, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? So you just don't have those kind of thoughts. You're just.
I do, but my mentality is, one, what if it works?
Oh.
Then number two is, if it doesn't, at least I learned. Or I have a fallback in this. You get? Like some of the things I'm doing right now are into tech.
Yeah.
A lot. Tech and tech skills. I've done data analytics. I'm currently doing SE, software engineering, which is something I really, really love. And I'm not doing it because I want to be a coder per se. I just want to understand what it is like to be a techie, to manage techies, to even when I'm interviewing them, I understand what kind of thing they go through, so that I'm able to communicate better. So yeah.
Okay, so that was the main vision behind Takeover. Yeah, that's the name of the show, right?
Yeah. Partly yes, but here's the thing. How many tech shows do you know in Kenya? Thank you. Unless you really ask, unless you really follow. On mainstream media, there has never been like a dedicated tech show per se. But we need to have a space where we discuss a lot of the things that are happening in our community that are around tech. For example, there's a big bank that was just hacked the other day and they lost 1.5 billion. Say Google is updating some of their services. WeTransfer just say that they're now going to allow footage to stay for 31 days and above, and not the normal 7 days that they used to allow. So you see such kind of updates. People needed a platform for them. And then another thing is that from my experience, literally from my experience, and perhaps I'm saying it because I've experienced it, it's very easy to monetize tech content. Extremely easy. How many startups do you see coming up on a daily basis? There are a lot of them.
Lots.
Embassies have programs, have budgets, have support groups, accelerator programs for startups, and they always need a place. They always need a place what they call home, yeah? So there's a lot. Phone companies are always releasing new brands every other quarter. Just the other day, Oppo released one. We are going to September. iPhone is going to release another one, iPhone 16, and like that, and like that, and like that. Every quarter, there's something going on in tech. I don't know why media leaders are not seeing the opportunity in tech.
In tech.
I honestly don't see why they're not seeing that opportunity, and it's really, really big. Yeah.
That's really awesome. Plus, I do have friends in the tech space. Actually, one who added me in the group with the Beba Begi guy.
Yeah.
So that's how we usually come together and talk about opportunities, and also they also forward other opportunities to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Wow. It has really been a good talk.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable.
I'm happy you are comfortable.
I am, yes. And I'm also learning from you because I like your assertiveness,
Yeah.
Tunnel vision. If I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
But what of distractions?
Again, you can't stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can stop it from building a nest over your head. Can I say that again?
Yeah, say that again.
If a bird wants to fly over your head, it will fly. But if it has to build a house on your head, now you have control over that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
there
find
you
a
go.
way of managing that and you'll be okay. Otherwise, it can be achieved.
Wow, man,
Yeah.
you're so stoic.
And and
Yeah.
and while at it, now you see why people call me proud.
Eh?
I'm not. I'm just like, hey, are we doing this or not?
You're just a guy who knows what he wants.
Thank you.
When he wants it.
Yeah. But I'm a joker. I
Yeah,
know
you
that.
said you're a noisemaker.
I'm a noisemaker, yes. I'm a joker. Yeah, so I'm happy you get to now get the sense of what I mean when people normally say, oh, this guy is so proud, is so what. Nakuringia nini, na nini hauna. I don't breathe flavored air. No, I don't.
But then people don't notice that they have everything that it takes. It's just that they feel less fortunate, or it's just that they're comparing their situation to other people, so they feel like they're not in the same shoes. So
now you see why I hate sympathy. You see why I hate sympathy. Look, I get it. Life is hard.
Yeah.
And there are people who have to literally, because some of us, I don't have dynasty money.
Yeah.
Everything I have to date, self-made. I have very minimal support from friends, home, and I am not entitled. I don't expect it. If you support me, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't, it's okay. You didn't have to. You're not my mom. You're not my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow I've had a way of figuring it out. Yeah. But this is the thing. Why I don't also kind of side with the beggars in town. And I get it, life can be hard. Let's start from there. But people don't just understand the kind of power they have in themselves. You are fully functional human. You have your 2 feet. You have a brain, at least that can move a mkokoteni for somebody. And they're going to pay you 10, 20, 100 shillings instead of staying somewhere and begging.
Yeah.
I tend to think about it very differently. If you ask me, I tend to think about life very, very differently. If people sat down and just looked inward and saw how much power they have in themselves. Wahenga walisema ibilisi wa mtu ni?
I don't know that.
Ibilisi wa mtu ni mtu.
Oh, yeah.
It is you to jinx yourself. It is you to...
You're the one who can kill yourself.
You're the one who can kill yourself. Now,
yeah.
The inverse is also true. I mean, if people thought about it that way, there's so much power within us. And then, what would be the worst they would have possibly said when I was pursuing tourism management and I applied for that media course, for that media opportunity? The worst they would have said is, no. Ukikataliwa inakuwa imeandikwa hapa. Chale kukata.
Hakuna.
Haiandikwi hapa. You know, you're going to be told no, and then...
Yeah, and then...
Let me tell you, the number of... being in media, the maximum amount of time bad news stays on air, the maximum, 3 weeks.
Oh.
3 weeks. Now, you only 3 weeks, you're 5 days, 5 days, 5 days. That is the maximum number of days bad news stays on air. Or sorry, in a trend, ama watu wanakumbuka.
Yeah.
People may just remember it, but it's not the one thing they care about a lot.
Yeah.
Guys move on so fast. Ukikataliwa, dust yourself, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you're kitu watu wajui.
Yeah.
It's like you're wallowing in pain. You're just wallowing in pain. What if I should yeah, I would hey.
And also, what I've also come to appreciate, having failed in business, having made a mistake, my cars having been repossessed, is that you can have everything right and you still go wrong. You can have everything right and perhaps the environment or the time is just not it. It's just not the time. And also, just putting one foot ahead of the other is good enough. People think about future. Oh, what will my kids look like? Oh, what will I live? It's good, but obsessing over it doesn't really help. So, just live in the moment. Enjoy the small joys you have with your friends. Go out, sing to some music, take selfies, take a road trip. It doesn't have to be expensive, by the way. No, it doesn't have to be expensive, much as I love fine things. But live in the moment. Enjoy it. You have a startup. It's something you're working on. Work on what you can work on right now without the money. Yeah, you can always iterate. You can always ask your friend, what do I improve about my startup? What do I improve about? The one thing I ask people who tell me, oh, I love your show, is I ask them, what is one thing you would think you would do differently? And I get good feedback out of it. Yeah. Sorry.
Wow. You're really a man with nuggets. See,
I'm never this serious. I'm never this serious in life. I'm a joker.
I being in front of the camera.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so here are my last 3 questions that I have for you, Brian George.
Yeah.
So, if not journalism, what other career would you have picked?
I love politics, so I would have either been a lawyer or a diplomat or a politician. And it's something I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to do. So definitely I would have been one. I think I would have been a marketing executive because I'm a very social human being. And what marketing has to do is with a lot of creating and maintaining a lot of relationships. So yeah, I think that would also pass for a good career for me. Or I would have been, what would I have been again? Would I have been, I think a farmer.
A farmer. Okay, that's something that you can practice.
Yeah.
Even in your 40s, 50s, 60s.
I'm practicing it now.
You're practicing it now.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Full package.
Yeah. Tenderly.
Okay. If you could go back in time, what would you change in your life?
What would I change in my life?
Yeah.
There are some friends I wouldn't have. Yeah, I have seen betrayal. I have experienced a very, very bad betrayal, especially where money is involved. Fortunately for me, in media, you get contacts, you get to meet people a lot, you get to meet people with high net worths, and so they give you opportunities that you don't even think you would have had at your age. By virtue of playing golf, now you meet CEOs, C-suite guys in serious decision-making categories in life, nanini. And then they give you opportunities, then you go and present to your friends, you tell them, hey guys, we have this opportunity here. How can we go about it? So because they have the resources or they have the networks or the resources to do it, unapata either you have been circumvented or you've been, or when the money comes now, it's a long ride. Just for me, I just back off. I'd rather have a good name than. That's why you don't see me in a lot of drama in this town. Unlike, sorry to say, unlike other journalists.
Yeah.
I don't want drama. I mean, it's just not it. I just want to live my life, live well with people, ishi maisha yangu vizuri na watu, do my work, go to church, talk to people, meet up in social events like this. I get a bit too busy, but I make time. So there are some friends I think I would not have done. I would not have been with. There are some investments I think I would not have made because they plunged me into some serious. I don't want to call it depression, but I remember praying to God at night and asking God that, God, I've lost money, I've lost my cars. All I'm asking God is, please just maintain my sanity because I'm losing it. I had never gone through a loss in my life. And when I narrated to one of my friends about it, he told me, Branji, why do you look down upon yourself? Yet what you've done is that you've paid the school fee of life. No one will ever sit you down and teach you that this is how you go through a loss. No one will ever teach you that. You have to experience it yourself. Remember when I said you can have everything correct, literally everything correct, and something still goes wrong. Yeah. Oh, wow. But the lessons you come out of it with are, they will last you a lifetime. I won't even lie, I'm a very better person right now without those friends, without those opportunities.
Okay, so those wrong decisions made you a better man.
I'm grateful they did.
Yeah, they did.
Because I chose to look at them that way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There are different perspectives.
Yeah, because you see, somebody would have been like, gone into drinking. I don't drink alcohol. So it was just better. And then I got into gym. So gym became my therapy because all my life I've grown up as a person who's very independent. So sometimes because people start sympathizing with me, oh, pole, oh, nini spendi, I sipendi to sympathy. Don't sympathize with me.
Yes, you've made that clear.
Yeah, I'll figure it out somehow. I have been independent since class 5, learned how to do things by myself. And I think it sort of even affected how I related with my group work, people in campus, and those group assignments.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm like, you guy, you want to drag me with an assignment here, 1 paragraph for 1 week. Let me just do the assignment and give you guys look at it, and then we'll come back. And I noticed that's not how life works sometimes. So some friends, some people who I called my friends, who I don't think they're friends anymore. They're just people I know. And then me also, yeah, you'll just know there's a way our relationship with Brangie has changed. But
that's communication.
Yeah. But I'll make things straight, by the way. I'll just
you'll just tell them.
Listen, hey man, you effed me up in this ABCD way. I expected better from you. I'll still give you room to explain yourself so that I get your perspective. But if I know you're BSing me straight up, I'm gonna say, no, that's a lie. That's a lie, and right now you're messing with me. But it's okay. I'll let you have it. Just know we are not doing anything at this level. Think about it this way. How much poison do you need to take to die?
Just...
Thank you. Just a little. So, if somebody betrayed you first time, do you possibly think they're going to change or something of the sort? They're still going to repeat the same thing. Humans are enemies of habit, which is why I'm not perfect myself, but I really try to live well with people. If I do you wrong, I'll come out and say, Clara, I am sorry. I have no explanation for this. Because, look, all of us in this world, we are only trying to live. I have never been a day older than what I was yesterday. Yeah. Today is whom I am and what you're seeing. And we need to relate well with people and live well with people around such kind of things. It is way better than saying a million Bible verses. Yeah.
And finally, what's your daily mantra what do you live by? A certain statement or just a mantra?
There are a lot. But the one
that stands out.
The one that stands out.
Yeah.
Is that I am Brangie.
Oh, okay. You know who you are, you're a go-getter.
I am Brangie, and it has to happen. But then the other one is also Mungu ni wetu sote, tena natupenda sote na tuna win forever. Now, if you call me, if you ask me, how are you, I'd tell you, nzima Mwenyezi Mungu anasaidia na anarahisisha.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that is what I live by. Yeah.
Okay, and a bonus question. So how's your spiritual life at the moment?
The spiritual life, I am at a point where I am very confident in God. I am a born-again Christian, but who is not religious. I will not be your typical preacher who will wake up and start preaching to you or see what.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the Bible, why the 10 Commandments are 6 are relating human to human, then 4 are human to God. It's because we live in a practical world. We need to be fair with one another. So I'm a practicing Christian. I go to church. I am in the marketplace ministry, where basically is your actions lead in the marketplace, where you represent God with the things you do. Are you kind to people? Are you professional? Are you excellent at what you do? Those are the things that resemble godliness at the place of work, and that is the kind of profession, or that's the kind of ministry I subscribe to. So if you ask me about that, that's what I'd say. A practicing Christian, a believer in Christ. And I don't try to change that. Hey, some girls have hit on me out here, but they are Muslims. And it's just not going to work. I've turned down people who hit on me. Told them, look, I'm at a place where if I start dating, I'm not going to date to joke around. Yeah, so, and ikifika hiyo point ya sasa kuoana, I know we'll struggle. My parents will not accept that I marry a Muslim, and I also don't subscribe to it. You will not just get it. Then how are we going to confuse the children in case one day God gives us children? Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. we're done with our conversation.
Asante sana.
I really feel good. I appreciate your time and
Yeah.
your presence.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling good.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, like sitting next to Branji, it's a big deal.
Oh, come on. I've said it. I don't breathe flavored air. I'm just a normal human being. Mi ni kijana tu wa Bondo nilitry kaingiana. So there's nothing ati sasa nini ama nini, no. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me a platform to tell my story. It feels special to be on this side because I'm the one normally asking the questions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on a daily basis. So thank you so much, nashukuru.
Yeah, and thank you for opening up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have privileged the podcast, and I do hope that you guys have learned from him and laughed at his jokes. He's a noisemaker, he's a funny guy. Yeah, as I said, the full package.
Yeah.
So thank you, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, thank you.